mothers, don't you fear. Ain't gonna drop no bomb over here. Won't be a bang, won't be a boom, just a TV set in your living room. Coming in loud, it's coming in clear, coming like a freight train through your ear. What you gonna do now, what you gonna say when they take your boss bones away? When they take your boss bones away. Teaching us lies, preaching us fear. Oh, my child said the end is near. Now, widows, don't you cry, 'cause all God's children one day gotta die. Well, they one day gotta die. Everybody's chasing American dreams, soaked in blood and kerosene. Hoping on a fire, waiting on a spark, hoping nobody gonna blow them all apart. All I ask and all I crave is a lonely walk till the noise of grave. But in the end we'll separate the rags we wear from the rags we wear. Spoon-fed hair, his thoughts been bled. Cry out to God from the devil's bed.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like we are live.
We are
and
live. Well,
let us know in the comments. Make sure you can hear us and you can see us. It looks like video is good on our end, but want to make sure that audio is good.
that's right, guys. Can you hear us and see us before we get to going tonight on TWR?
Looks
Talk
like
it,
Mike
walk
Moore.
it, ride it.
Good to see you from West Virginia. Yep, looks and sounds great. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mark.
All right.
Oh,
William,
right.
thank you.
Here
Billy.
we go. All right.
All right.
Takes a couple of minutes to kind of get our vibe into it, you know, make sure everybody can hear us and see us, feel us and smell us. Only if you could smell me, smell a vision, you'd definitely be turning it down. I smell pretty good.
Takes a few minutes on all of our live streams. Not like we don't do this, you know, weekly.
Every week, it doesn't matter.
But it's still new each week.
That's right, guys. So
and we have Hank joining us
Hank's
tonight.
hanging out again tonight, doing his thing. That's right. We're getting ready for Mardi Gras here in the Ozarks. Do you look a little dark? I guess you look all right, don't you?
I think I do. Here.
Okay. Turn that up a little bit. I have to wear glasses because that ring light gives me a headache here in about 15, 20 minutes. It's not something I'm so cool. It's just because I don't want to get a headache. Got a headache. Woke up this morning with a little bit of a headache and just didn't feel real good. Feeling better, you know, but...
Yep.
All right, let's kick this thing off. You want to? Let's get the vibe going and get our energy up.
Yes.
Take a big breath.
So this week we're getting, oh gosh, a lot of stuff's happening this week. Okay, so we're getting ready, of course, for Daytona Bike Week, making all those plans, finishing all those little touches and details, exactly when we're going to leave out. We've got some new stuff coming in the mail this week that we're going to be putting on the bike, that we're going to be showcasing, which I'll let TJ, I'll let you tell them more about that in a minute. And then, of course, we've got Mardi Gras happening. So not next Tuesday, but the next Tuesday is Fat Tuesday. We're not going to have a live stream that week. We're going to do it, or that day, we're going to move it over to Wednesday just because it's Fat Tuesday, and we've got plans.
Yep, that's right.
Of
We'll be
course.
selling Fat Tuesday here in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, with their Mardi Gras going on this Saturday. We'll be over there at Eureka Springs doing the Barkus Parade. We got Hanky Doo-Doo right here, and Steph has been getting him all dialed in, ready for Mardi Gras, building his little hat. Isn't that cute as pie? He don't know what to think about it, getting his little costume ready, and we'll be hanging out there in Eureka, having a good time, supporting our local good causes there.
They've
done something really good there real quick.
Yeah.
With the Barkus, it's a crew of dogs for Mardi Gras, but they represent the king and queen, and that is actually two pups that are in the shelter, so you can actually go adopt them. So hats off to you guys over there in Eureka Springs with the Barkus crew doing it right there. Maybe saving a couple pups' lives right there by doing something cool.
Yeah, and that's this Saturday. It's the night parade, and then next Saturday is the day parade, and then of course Fat Tuesday. Got all kinds of festivals and stuff like that too. But yeah, so we're going to be focusing on the crew at Barkus this weekend. Although all the crews get together and do and participate in the night parade. However, we're going to take Hank over and let him walk in the parade with the other pups, and yeah. Look how excited he is. He's
Super
already
excited.
yawning about it.
So before we just keep on rattling our traps here, if you do not know what you're watching and you just stumbled upon this video and you're wondering what the hell and who the hell these people are, well, you just came across the Ornery One, and that's who I am, and this is the Ornery Squall. I'm TJ Thompson, that's Stephanie Thompson, and this channel is about us living our life on two wheels and all the adventures that we get into and all the people that we hang out with and some great products that go along with it. And just our travels that we'll be showing you, because we've got a big year planned. So you guys stay tuned and you'll see what it's all about. If you want to go peek down in our library, we have a shit ton of content below. Ton of stuff going over our personal lives, what we get into, just partying, no matter if it has anything to do with motorcycles, has everything to do with the motorcycle, building the big board last year at Pig Trail Harley Davidson, the chopper, we have old chopper too, little Evo that we run around on. We have a van that we get into and run a little bit here and there, which you got to do a little fixing on. And we go to some really cool rallies and events. We're always on the go. We live life pretty intense and pretty intense.
Which everybody should.
Yes, we do. So we've got a little different take on it. If you know us well enough, you know why. We won't get into that, but we've got a hell of a story, hell of a past. So we're just capitalizing on that. And here on Tuesday night, we've been going live this year, and we will continue this year on Tuesday night, where we walk it, talk it, and ride it. Did I get that correctly?
Yeah, and a lot of rambling.
A lot of rambling. That's right, because I like to ramble. So here in a minute, we're going to get into some products that we have came in the mail. We're also going to have Casey Mulligan on. He's an Ornery Ass member, and he's a good friend. Hell, he's family to us. He has been there before the Ornery One was the Ornery One.
Yes, I think earlier he mentioned that he was, we were like, you've been with us from the very beginning. And he's like, yeah, before there was actually a Facebook page. So, you know, if it's before anything on Facebook, it's official. Like, it's like, that was like some like OG, you know.
Well,
shit
and
right
I
there.
had just a page that you created for me, and it was called the Ornery One, because I've always been nicknamed Ornery. And she just said, you need let's make you an Instagram page. So we made that like a year before this happened, and it was just sitting there with like 2 followers.
Yeah. And we already had a YouTube page because we documented stuff on our tiny house and stuff like that. So that kind of all started way before even the motorcycles. But then the motorcycles in there, you know,
and
here
then,
we are.
So here we are with Casey today, and we've gone out there and hung out with the whole crew out there, the class clowns out there on the West Coast. Absolutely, well, they mean a lot to me. I wanted to get into it because I'll get all teary-eyed. So really quick, I do want to show you guys what I'm going to be talking about after we get done talking with Casey, so we don't hold him up forever. But I'm going to be trying out the Instigator by Chromeworks. You know what the Instigator is? Well, I'll show you here in a minute. That just came into the mail.
Came into the mail, but it came into the mail.
It came into the mail house. Also, you guys have been seeing me talk for a few weeks now. I've been needing a phone mount, phone holder, something to hold a phone, because I'm the guy that wants their phone up there. I actually use that phone quite a bit as we're going down the road. That's one thing about Steph and I riding 2UP, support 2UP, is because we change our mind. She can look it up and drop it, and drop a pin on the map, and I can change my directions real quick on my phone. So I'm using that phone a lot. I did pick one. I was looking at, let me make sure. I was looking at tack form and rock form.
Right.
And that's what we've been talking about for a couple of weeks. I did decide on one last week, and it was a hell of a deal. I absolutely enjoyed what I got into. I actually got to sit on the phone. I'm going to sit down and talk to him, but maybe we will on a live and kind of picked some brains of some individuals that had a lot to do with these phone holders. So what I ended up going with is the tack form. So I did get that in the mail yesterday. So you guys are going to see me talking about this and what this is in here. Also, they sent me some arms because I got to look. So here's an arm that's adjustable. So you can loosen this up here and here on balls, and you can swivel this around. And here's a straight arm. Because we've been starting to use that GoPro Max a lot more. So the 360, right? And then there's other 360s, the Insta 360s. There's other ones out there. But the GoPro is the one that we got. We're starting to use that more. So I'm looking at different camera views and points, different advantage points that we can do on our own as we're riding on the bike. So you're going to see me talk a little bit more about those products right there, and we're putting them on the bike. And you're going to get to see us run them this year. Our first run will be running down there to Daytona for Daytona Bike Week, which Steph doesn't know now. Like we were talking earlier, well, she may know, but we're not going to go down to Mardi Gras to do that kickoff run. So we're going to stay here like we mentioned. But I think we're going to leave a couple of days earlier and go over there to hang out in St. Augustine. Yeah,
I do know that.
Yeah. I guess I don't think I knew that I was going to say this.
Oh, gotcha.
We kinda
Gotcha. Okay.
talk a little bit. So I'm looking forward to getting over to St. Augustine, and that kind of reminds me of the first time that we was over in St. Augustine. We just stumbled onto this little town. It was cool as shit. I think we'd made a post or we went live, and actually Casey was on there. And I said, man, this is like one of the oldest cities around. And Casey's like, hell no, man, that is the oldest city.
Yeah,
because Casey
that.
is a history buff.
He is.
And it's really cool, the knowledge that he holds in his head, and be able to just come out with it so freely and not stumble on it like I would.
Yeah, we tend to stumble on things. And
Yeah, we do.
You know, I was going to quickly say thank you, James Tate. Good to see you on here
Hello,
tonight.
Tate.
Always.
What's up, buddy?
And Marcus and Suzanne from New York. Good to see you on here also. We got to hang out with them in Sturgis last year. And yeah, I know you just asked if we were going to be in Daytona. So yes, we will be, and hope you guys are going to be there. Hope to see you guys down there.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be down there in Daytona, and we mentioned Sturgis too. We got some really cool shit planned for Sturgis, and that'll be with Custom Dynamics. We're going to be doing a ride, and it's called the Singing Coyote. We're going to be talking more details about that as it come up, but that's something that we're putting together, and it'll be sponsored and put on between us, and I guess you could say powered by Custom Dynamics, something that we're going to do different this year, and it'll be a great opportunity to get, just all of us involved in something that has a lot to do with history, and take a ride. And take a look around, maybe some.
And it's going to benefit a good cause too. So I'm excited to work out, finish those details, and get you guys all on board with it.
It's really fucking hard to tell people what we do, because I can sit here in front of this computer and I can try to convey what we do day in and day out, but there's just no damn way I can do it, guys. You just got to come along on the ride, and if you can't be there in person, just follow along with us on social media, and you'll see what we're up to. And we'll hit this stuff, we'll do these things, we'll ride these rides, and then we're on to the next thing. It's not like we planned one cool event and that's what we focus on all year. These are multiple things that we're doing across the United States. How cool is that?
It's pretty cool.
I mean, really just think about it.
Yeah.
And I guess if Casey's ready to come on, we can bring Casey on there because he's seen us begin this thing. I mean, we did a lot of brainstorming with Casey.
Yes.
Jody, the whole crew out there just kind of going into what this could be.
Right.
And
yeah.
then
Yeah, definitely.
Casey, are you ready to come on?
Let's see if we can get them on the screen here.
I'm here.
All right.
Yes, perfect.
Can everybody hear Casey?
Testing audio, 1, 2, 3.
You can sing too, Casey. Give us a little.
That I could sing as well?
Yeah, give us a little something. Nothing.
Your song. There you go.
All right, we'll make sure everybody can hear you though, Case, before we kind of break into it. if
I'm not
somebody,
really a karaoke guy.
oh my
but
gosh,
later in the night, I kind of turn into a karaoke guy when I shouldn't.
oh, I,
That's exactly what we do. We are really bad. We usually go to karaoke at a local little bar here in town every Wednesday night. And yeah, I would not sing karaoke for like, I mean, you could pay me and I still don't think I would do it. But yeah, when we get back home and then I'm like, I'm a few beers in and then a few more beers in, yeah, I'll turn the radio on.
well, now she
Jerry
brings,
always does tequila.
well,
Oh, yes.
Tequila.
no shit. Okay, so everybody can hear
Yep, we're all good on
Casey.
sound.
All right, so, man, Casey, holy shit. We're excited about this Walk It, Talk It, Ride It this year because we're going to get to do stuff like this and we're going to get to talk to all of us. And it's not about me. It's not about Steph. It's not about this person or that product or that company. It's about all of us. And all of us together is what makes it so fucking cool and why I love doing what we do. And it's just, you really have that place there because, the first time I took a trip anywhere on a motorcycle out of the state, I took out of here in the Ozarks and we headed over there. Which then, what did we come over there for? Laughlin River Run.
River Run.
Yeah. So I busted out and
Had a
it
damn
would,
good time.
yeah, we all know this, but Adam Sandoval came in town and I hung out with him that night and he actually gave me $1,000. And then we had a buddy there, Gabe, lent me his brand new bike, because I just had that old chopper of mine and said, in the morning, we're going to leave at 9 o'clock. And I was like, and we drunk on it and we talked to about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And he's like, I'll give you $1,000. You take Gabe's bike. So got up the next morning, met up with him, got on Gabe's bike, and we headed out there to you. And that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, it was about 2018, I think, and I had invited Sandoval to come talk to my high schoolers and ride into the gym, and that's how we met originally.
Ain't that a side? Oh,
All
man.
downhill or uphill from there.
Oh,
Look at
yeah, and the night before, so we went up there to that pet cemetery above Altman there.
yeah.
And we slept outside beside our bikes. And that next day we got up and we came to you guys. And
Yeah, and that's where we end up. Remember, we ended up taking you guys back to that place by accident because if you ever been to the Laughlin River Run, everybody ends up in Oatman eventually. I mean,
Oh, my
there's
God.
things you got to do because that place is, always a poop show, and every time you have a run. So, can we cuss? No.
Yes, hell yeah, we can. And the thing of it is, man, what gets me too, we talk about that. And guys, if y'all have never been out there, it's a hell of a little old tight, windy road that kind of can make you nervous if you ain't been used to it. It's
This historical Route 66.
Yeah.
Doesn't get much better than that.
And then you end up there in a town that's kind of crossed between the Western, Mad Max, and then you got some damn ass donkeys out there that's knocking you around, knocking your bikes over. You don't know the characters that you're going to run into out there.
It's an amazing place. It's always a good time. And we usually end up hitting it a few times a year, just whenever, just because you gotta. Plus, the road's amazing. It's so it's pinpoint turn or hairline turn. I mean, it's tight, but it's just fun. The view's incredible. You're climbing constantly. So
Yeah, and that road, man, you think you've traveled like miles, and it's only like 4 or 5 miles long. I don't know how long it is. It ain't that long, but it feels like it's forever to get there.
Yeah, it's going to go about 5 to 15 miles an hour at some point.
Oh, just kicking back and forth and really tight. And here in the Ozarks, we have that, but we have the trees and all this stuff that kind of breaks it up. There, it's rock.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like shit,
But you can see forever.
Oh, forever. Unbelievable. So, and along that, all along that road there, too, there's historical landmarks and things you can see. If you're not, you need to be watching the damn road, but there's a lot to see out through there. And Casey, that brings me to this question: where were you born?
Napa, California, in the Bay Area.
Okay.
North Bay, north of San Francisco.
Really? Well, that.
Yeah. So, I grew up in Napa and ended up going to college in Arizona and then never left the state since, and thank God.
And so what do you do now?
So I'm a superintendent of a public charter school out here in Bullitt City, and been administrating for about 18 years and love it, but getting close to retirement too. So big things on the horizon once I can finally just cut loose and hit the road for good.
So a little backstory: you and your wife work there. You've got a whole cast of people out there that you guys have ran with and hung out with. Y'all are a big Tot family out there. I mean, it's Tot.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's a great school. A lot of writers on my staff, and we always have a good time. So it's been a great time. For me, I never grew up as I didn't grow up as a writer. That wasn't something that was allowed in my childhood. Bikes were bad.
Yeah.
So my dad, his brother had a best friend that got killed right in front of him when he was in his early 20s. So
Yep.
it was one of those things where in the family, grandparents and dad, it was just no one's allowed to ever have a motorcycle. So, but I had this neighbor 2 doors down as a kid, and this guy was a police officer. And if he wasn't lifting weights in his garage, he was riding in on this Dyna that was just ridiculous. And it always caught my eye, and I'd go over and talk to him. And I remember when I was 16, I was talking about getting a bike maybe one day, and he goes, "You know what? Why don't you just go get that bike and we'll hide it at my garage and not tell your parents?" And man, I just was thinking, I was thinking pretty hard on that one. But,
Wow.
that never happened. Now, when I got out of college, I moved out to Bullhead and discovered the desert and the love for the desert. And first toy I ever bought was a dirt bike. It was a YZ 492 stroke Yamaha as my first ever bike that you could never find the bottom of the throttle on that thing out in the desert. It was so fast. It was
Oh
probably
my
the most
God.
ridiculous thing ever to buy as a first bike. But
Perfect.
kind of went down the path, when I got married, my father-in-law gave me an 850 Suzuki, a street bike. That was my first street bike, and I actually wrecked that thing at a river run. It was actually the year when they had the big shootout with the Hells Angels mongrels. That night, it was actually literally that night.
No shit. Well, maybe it threw him off your path, though.
Had a 6-year-old turn right in front of me on a green light where I have no idea why she did that, but my wife and I ended up on the trunk of her car.
Oh, shit.
And then had to go get a new bike after that. So I had a little Honda Shadow 750.
Oh, yeah.
Worked my way into a Yamaha finally, like a 1300 V-Star.
Yeah.
And my wife said, "You know what? I think it's time to go buy a Harley." I'm like, "Yeah, I think you're right."
Yep.
So,
Yeah. The epitome of America right there. I mean, that sums us all up. Like you were just talking about the dude over there lifting weights and riding the bike, it's something, because as I was growing up, like I'd look at those dudes whenever I'd go, I've been in the gym all my life, been an athlete, going to the gym, and I'd see these dudes kind of roll up, park out front, come in, work out a little bit, go back out, start their bikes and take off down the road. And then every once in a while, I'd be seeing them heading up to Branson all together, and I'd be like, damn, man, I don't know what that is, but it's a draw. It's something that...
whatever it is, you want a piece of it.
Yeah,
sure.
And I don't know if that was a good thing or what, but I definitely, once, the ball got rolling, I fell right into it. And then meeting staff, loving the ride, I had no chance. So, Casey.
It's all history from there.
My wife wants to ride too.
Yeah, y'all ride. That's what I was going to say. I was saying this to you earlier. For Steph and I, we are very fortunate and humbled, and I appreciate where we are in life and doing what we do, riding a motorcycle. Like we were saying earlier, we basically get paid to ride a motorcycle. And, but with that, we have responsibilities and things we need to take care of to continue doing this. Where you guys, this is what y'all do when you get off work. So we'll roll with y'all, and Steph and I will be like, well, we got to be here, we got to be here, we got to be here. And you guys, okay, we're going to do this. And I watch you guys. You're out there exploring, doing whatever the fuck you want to do, whenever you want to do it. And that's what you're doing. And that's the epitome of what we should be doing on a motorcycle. And you guys have that so much. I mean, like when we rode out through there and we went through the Monument, was it Monument Valley that we rode out through?
Good stuff.
Holy shit, man! That little ride there, we just kind of did whatever the hell we wanted to right then.
Yeah.
And
it was great to show you guys some new things that you'd never seen.
Oh my God, it's still one of my top. It wasn't just the road; it was the atmosphere on the road. It was us hanging out, and then like we'd pull over. One thing again, guys, if you're hanging out with Casey, when you pull over, get ready because he's going to tell you what you just saw. And he'll be like, "Did you see that one tree beside the mule?" And it had that big, and I'm like, "Hell no, Casey." He goes, "Well, you need to go back and see that. That's haunted."
Get a history lesson with you, right?
Oh, it's unbelievable, But the good thing of it is too, you're kind of like a tour guide. You'll show us around. It's fantastic the knowledge you can hold in your head.
For sure. I base all my rides on historical landmarks and dive bars, basically. So.
I mean, it's a perfect combination.
Yeah, it's what it is. So.
Yeah, that's the way it should be just across America. Steph and I, there at first we were learning what we were fixing to do. We had no idea what we were getting into. We kept just eating at the apple until we figured it out. But we just went to titty bars. I mean, that's just what we did. We just go to titty bar after titty bar after titty bar, and then come find out we couldn't do that every night. We couldn't stay at what we needed to do, but. That's what it was about for us, just having a good time and finding that just dive bar, like you said, and the best Bloody Mary or margarita you could find.
Sure, best biker bar you can find out there in America.
Gosh. So, Casey,
before we change subject, so speaking of Laughlin River Run, it's now called Bullhead River Run. Is that correct?
It is.
Okay.
It is. The Laughlin River Run, the name is officially dead.
Okay.
So when you, TJ, came out in 18, and then you and Steph both came out the next year in 19,
Yep.
That was officially the last year. And if anyone's ever been to the River Run, you noticed it peaked around, right around the shooting of, what was that, 03, 04, whenever that shooting went down. It was getting so ridiculously fun, like out of control, amazing. Yeah. And then that shooting went down, and... the whole thing changed. It was becoming like the Sturgis of the West Coast, and it was like 8,000 bikers, and just a show.
Yeah.
And shooting went down. So after that, they over policed it. No cuts, no colors. So the club stopped coming.
Yeah.
Been weird colors in casinos. I mean, it was just it got weird, and it just got smaller and smaller year after year.
Yeah.
Well, 15 years ago, a guy named Larry Topping, he had a tattoo convention called Mayhem during the River Run, which you've been a part of and a victim of. I know for sure.
Yeah, I think we actually met him.
Yeah, you probably did.
We did, and his wife.
Yeah, I remember you got some work done there at the convention.
Yeah.
Yep. So Larry Topping, who was running Mayhem, and which is a tattoo convention during the River Run. He's a local guy in Bullhead, but he picked up the River Run.
Okay.
Basically. So once 2020 hit and everybody shut down, the River Run completely got canceled out in 2020. Starting in 21, Larry Topping, the guy who ran the tattoo convention, picked up the River Run and just called it the Bullhead River Run. He moved it over to the Arizona side. Because on the Arizona side, no helmets, all of a sudden colors and cuts are welcome.
Totally different.
Welcome to come. And
it's totally different. Once you cross over, it's a different world.
It is.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's like you got your freedom back all of a sudden. So, and the very first year was super small out of an old, like, retired strip plaza kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was small, but the riders still came. That was the funny thing, because people just like an excuse to get out on a weekend. You got the casinos to stay at night, so riders still showed up, but there wasn't much as far as the actual run.
Yeah.
And then last year it grew, and it had 2 locations. We have this massive indoor field house now in our community. So we had, Quiet Riot last year, and a bunch of other bands open up. This year it's going to be even bigger. He's got 3 locations along Highway 95 with Slaughter coming and a bunch of other bands. So basically Bullet's just taking it over and keeping it alive. The casinos are there for people to stay in, so it should I would say it is definitely growing. It's on its way up, and the idea is to just revive it completely because everyone's welcome now.
Well,
So
I can tell you what, we went out there that first time. That was the first rally I'd ever been to.
yeah,
It says like Box Blues Barbecue here at home or something, which it's not the same. It's way fucking different. So it was a culture shock for me to walk around there and see that. But the damn bikes that I seen, holy
great
shit!
community. Yeah,
So
just
many bikes,
incredible,
just
just incredible.
all kinds of John Deere bikes. The people, the culture. I
Yeah,
absolutely fell in love with it. I
and
loved it.
everyone's in a good mood because
Oh yeah.
everyone's got a common interest,
Oh
so you
yeah.
can hang out with anybody.
I know it was a really good time. I hated to see it disappear. I'm glad it's coming back, and everybody needs that economy. They need that stimulus. They need that. We talk about that a lot everywhere we go. All the rallies that we go to, we want to go to a good rally. For a lot of us, we save up all year round. We take off time at work. We get the babysitters, and we hear about a rally. We want to go to a good rally. And with
Yeah.
saying that, Casey, would you recommend going out there to this now? Is this
Oh,
something you do?
100%. 100%. The Laughlin River Run's always attracted the West Coast. Obviously, the LA Basin and stuff, the Southern California riders, mostly just because it's only a 5 hour ride. So
Yeah.
it's just the ideal rally if you live in Southern California. But it attracts riders from all over. And this ride, it's not, I've been to a ton of rallies. Some are better than others. And sometimes you get there and you're like, wow, this is all the vendors they have, or this is it. You know what I mean?
No
But in
shit.
the end, sometimes it's not necessarily the rally because of all the riding that you're gonna do. So for us, sometimes rallies turn into we ride every day all day long and we stop in to see what the fun is at night and horse around with everybody else. Or you get there and the rally's amazing and you kind of skip out on the riding and you're doing more rally stuff. So
Yeah.
it works both ways. It doesn't always have to be a perfect rally wherever you go, depending on what you went there for. So for
That
me, I
that
can make it work either way. I can
that's
make a
it.
bad
That's
rally turn
dude.
into a great weekend because I just rode my ass off.
Hands down, that's the best answer there is. You make it to what you want out of it. It really is. We talk about rallies a lot. Steph and I, we love to ride. Of course, we've been in the rallies, been around all that, so we want to go ride now. But that's just where we're at. But like you said, Casey, if you get there and it's not what you want there, make it into something else. Out there for Steph and I, we call it, of course, we're here in the Ozark, we call it the West Coast, East Coast. That's how we see everything. And we're right in the middle. I, we love it. I don't know, like a lot of people, they got some shit. They may talk about Cali a little bit here and there. We have loved it. Everybody's been good to us, man. Riding down the coast. I was nervous as hell a few years to go out there. A few years ago when I went out there, I was like, man, I just didn't know how people were going to accept me. Northern California, and then rounding back over where you guys are into there. I mean, holy shit. And it don't take long where you can be somewhere where you can be warmed up or you can get cooled off a little bit too while learning, which I love it.
Yeah.
I love it so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. And California has some amazing riders.
Oh my God.
Highway 1 is just it's top one or two best roads. I don't know. I've done it 4 or 5 times because you can't get enough of it.
Well, I mean, and then you can kind of kick off too and find all kind of different places to go, just
Oh.
like all the time. You get lost, you're going to find something you want to go find again.
For sure.
We love it out there. We want to spend more time out there, of course. Thankfully, we have you guys out there, and I was just talking to you earlier before we came on live there, Casey, is one thing that you've done that I haven't got to experience yet, and that's the Rocky Point.
Yeah. Yeah, the Rocky Point rallies. So it's kind of been our newest discovery over the last couple of years. We've been to a lot of rallies everywhere, but we have some good riding friends that we do a lot of rides with here locally. And one year on their Facebook page, they're posting all these pictures of them down in Mexico riding. I'm looking at that going, holy crap, I want to do that. I want to ride my Harley in Mexico.
Yeah, no
So,
shit, man.
but, you know, you don't know anything about a rally. So it's one of those things where I called them up right away and said, next year we are in. So we went down with some, you know, actually we've gone with them every time because they go every year. They've gone like 7 years in a row or something like that. But I just say right now, if you've never been to the Rocky Point Rally, that's got to be a bucket list ride for anybody,
Yep.
or at least a rally, I should say, a rally. There's not, I understand the Rocky Point Rally. There's not a lot of riding when you get down there necessarily. You're not going to be putting hundreds of miles on your bike touring Mexico
Yep.
because there's just not a lot out there in the desert. But you're in the town of Puerto Penasco. The food, the people, the riders. It is just nonstop, sun up, sundown. It's all night. I mean, you wake up 6 in the morning to pee, and the music's still blaring out down on the street. It's ridiculous. Those people know how to. They know how to throw a rally. They know how to party. And right now, my wife and I, we just can't get enough of it. Like, it's just incredible, the experience alone. So, you know, it's one of the, if your wife or riding partner doesn't enjoy just hours on the back seat, you're basically riding to the destination. You might throw on another 80 miles while you're there because you're going to ride here and there up and down the coast to a few bars, and then you're going to ride that whatever the distance was to get home at that point. So there's not a lot of riding when you're there. There's a lot of playing when you're there. You're walking on the beach in the mornings. They got the Melicon that's got the ridiculous 2-3 story bars that are going all day. You got the Cali 13 with the stage right there on the street at night. The crowds, as far as you can see, it's just a sea of people on a street that goes all night long.
Which
And-
some people, this may sound exactly what they do not want to go to. You know, here we are, like we're talking it out. I guarantee you somebody's going to be watching this and be like, what the fuck? That's the last fucking place I want to go.
But
But
once again, you gotta make it what you want it.
Yeah,
So
there
if
you
wanna
go.
Go to Cali 13 at night. You just stay in your nice beach resort
there,
and enjoy yourself. So
well, I've been talking about riding Mexico and doing some things. I've talked about it ever since I've been riding a motorcycle.
yeah, you've been talking about it for a while now.
I've been talking for, we never have done it. And I thought,
Yeah.
well, this would be a great way to cut my teeth, you know.
Yep.
And I mean, I watched Jesse James. I think it was with the copper bike. Remember years ago, he built that copper bike and he ran down Mexico and met up with Kid Rock. And it, you know, this is before I had motorcycles, and this is when I was still raising kids. And this is my thing, you know. I need to feel that. It will be totally not that. I don't, you know, I've probably had more moments special to me than I ever will on a bike now, that I could ever expect that I would have had by now. But Mexico, I think this will be a good way for me, like I said, to cut our teeth on it. And like you said, Casey, running with people that have gone 6-7 years, to hang out with those people is worth so much because, you know, they let you understand a little bit of the culture side of it, what you're going to expect, maybe take a little bit of that anxiety off of, you know, what you may be worried about. I mean, we hear all kinds of shit, you know.
Well, my wife did the first year there. We're down on the street, you know, touching shoulders with the world. There was, you know, she didn't necessarily enjoy all of that. Last year, didn't even think of it. In fact, last year I was around there like not completely fearless, never looking over my shoulder, worried about a thing. I mean, we just had such a great time.
Yeah.
It blows, you know, and it does cut your teeth on it because right now I've already got rides mapped out for me where I'm going to go from here to Cabo. You know, I want to see all the Spanish missions all the way down. I want to go to Cabo. And then I met a riding club out of Las Vegas called the Tribe, cool guys, this last time. And they were telling me about a big ride down in Mazatlan, which is one of the largest Latin American motorcycle rallies, you know, in Latin America, that they said is just over the top amazing. It takes 2 days to get down there. So I've been trying to research that one out and get information on it. It's actually hard to get information on because everything's in Spanish. So
Yeah.
But you know, it's to me right now, I've been to all 50 states. I've ridden almost coast to coast pretty much. I was in North Carolina last summer. But Mexico's like this untapped, undiscovered resource for me as a writer, just because it's just awesome.
Well,
I cannot explain it. The people are amazing. They're just so friendly.
it kind of comes down to this, Casey.
Got some pesos there?
All right. So we went on that cruise, right? All right. Super bougie. It was great. We loved it. High Seas Rally. Recommend it if you guys want to have a good time, be motorcycle related, be around a bunch of really fucking cool people that's part of history and motorcycle culture. It's great. We eat and we drunk the whole thing. First time we've ever gone on a cruise. But when we got down there, we stopped at a couple of places and we stayed in a little bougie, little gated off places. And at last, we were like, fuck it. We got down to the Dominican Republic. We went straight through the gates and went out into the city where the armed guards are standing around. They said, you may not want to go there. Well, of course, that's right where we went. We're like, we're sick of this shit. We want to go experience stuff. So we did. And within that 5 hours, I'm still processing what I seen there because it's not home. It's shit I watch on Discovery Channel. There are no laws there. And when I say no laws, I said at a at where I think it should have been stop signs or stop lights. There is none of that shit. And this just fascinated me, right? Here we are on bikes. These little scooters and cars and shit were missing each other, running each other off in a ditch, running in each other. Nobody getting mad. It's just part of it. And I stood there and recorded that. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's so crazy. Then we walked around and we ate and we drunk and we bought souvenirs. And this shit was cheap. And we ate really good, and we got to experience something different, and we did it cheap. We did it so cheap. Now, we could probably pick up a lot of things that are really cheap you wouldn't want, but, that's another draw to me, though, because here in the U.S., love it. I love America. I love who we are, but fucking things are overpriced.
Yeah.
You just can't hardly afford it.
No, I love the country. The country's beautiful, and there's still endless things to see and explore. But it's just fun to just keep going. I know when I do retire from work here, my next chapter will probably be an adventure bike of some kind, and I'd really like to head down to Panama City from my house just to say I did it, and then if I can afford to, I'm gonna put it on a boat or a plane and head on down to Colombia and just keep it going. I don't know. I keep researching South America. I don't know. I just want to see it all.
Well, we do follow some people and they go down there all the time. And I mean, they do it. There again, you got to have everything, you have all your ducks in a row. Steph and I, we have been working on it. We do have a few contacts and we have a good idea of how we'd want to approach this to be able to play it off on social media where we can maybe generate some money off of it and be able to do it too and fund it. So really quick though, Casey, what do you ride so everybody knows?
I have a 2014 Ultra Limited right now. It's got about 70,000 miles on it. I'm ready to make my next purchase. I'm kind of there. I don't know how many miles you put on a Harley until you go, well, it's probably time for another one. But I don't know. I was hoping 23 was going to come out with some kind of new, bigger motor or something. It just came out with fancier paint jobs, so I might just hold off another cycle here, another season, and see what the 24s look like before I go that route.
Right on.
But that bike's been absolutely solid for me. It's never left me high and dry anywhere, and I've been everywhere. Yep. And I also have a 06 Heritage that you haven't seen, but I've had for a couple of years now. That's got some nice apes on it. That's got a stage 3 and some little freedom pipes on it. It's loud as hell, and I use that for around town or just over the hill for the little hour rides here and there, just annoy people.
Well, you've got some other stuff sitting in the garage that's pretty amazing as well.
Yeah, I got a few of those things too.
So. Yeah. Oh man.
I have 2 bikes right now.
Well, I have 2. Well, I have 2 bikes. You have a bike, don't you?
Yeah, I have a bicycle too.
Yeah,
it's electric.
You got an electric bicycle. Yeah, this company.
And a motorcycle. I just
What's
that?
It's
just, it's a little son of a bitch runs pretty good, really. That little bicycle. I was shocked with it. But electric. That gets us off on something else. Anyway, So, Casey, I don't even know when we'll see each other again, man. It'll probably be somewhere in the fall, I believe.
Well,
Probably Rocky Point.
I have Rocky Point. The dates wrote down.
Some shrimp tacos or something down south.
Yeah, it looks like it's the
Senoritas.
9th through the 12th of November. Is that right? Do you know off the top of your head? Okay.
Yeah. So Rocky Point is always Veterans Weekend
Okay.
on the calendar for anyone
Okay.
who's wondering. So every Veterans Weekend, it's always Thursday through Sunday. And if you ever do it,
So it's our anniversary.
plan on staying until Monday.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's a pro tip right there for the rally because
Casey Mulligan, pro tip of the.
well, you end up getting all the Americans trying to leave Sunday, the day the rally's over, and the
Dickheads.
just turns into a mess. So if you leave Monday, it's easy to get out.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, I think maybe I owe you an anniversary gift this year.
Yeah,
so
it'd be our
maybe.
anniversary, actually, Casey. It'd
There
be
you go.
our 12th
That's
year
so perfect.
this coming
Yeah.
year. Okay, Casey, man, I know you. Here we are. We just keep on rambling. I even forgot that we were on the live stream. I really did. Dude, we love y'all to death. We can't wait to see you, and we want to thank you so very much for what you've done for us throughout the past year, the years. You've always been there. You've always been a positive force. You've been uplifting and nothing but love. And we respect you guys so very much, and you mean so much to us. Thank you for coming on here tonight. And I hope some people took a little bit out of our conversation, if it's nothing else than just a couple dudes that love riding bikes.
That's it. That's what it's all about. Miss you guys.
Yep.
Take care.
Well, we got a young one coming in, and you hear Hank barking right now.
He's on it.
Yeah,
Security.
Reggie's in there. So they got a pug. They actually had a few dogs. They've had a few dogs pass away, but they still got Reg. Reg and I've cuddled up a couple of times and smelled each other a little bit here and there. That dude is
He stinks.
He's a stinker. So like I said, Casey, we do want to say thank you so very much for spending your time with us tonight and hanging out.
Absolutely. All
right, then. I guess we'll let Casey get back to his rat killing, and then, guys, I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to show you this breather that I got from Chromeworks. We're going to get it out of the box and take a look at it. All right, buddy. We'll see you, Casey.
Right. Take care, y'all.
Stay ornery, man.
You got it.
All right, let's switch back over here. Perfect. All right, and I do have to take this dog out.
Got to take the dog out. You may want to
Yes.
shut that mic off.
I'm gonna leave.
Oh, you're gonna leave it right here.
so
Okay.
you don't hear.
So-
Hank pee.
Yeah, we got to take Hank out to go pee. Like I said, Hanky Doo-Doo. You can go follow him on his social media platforms. That's right, Hanky Doo-Doo. But back to motorcycle shit. I did want to say how cool this really is that Chromeworks sent this to me. You can see right here what they wrote on it. Too bad motherfucker. That's who they sent it to. I actually wrote that on there. You guys know that. I have fun with that all the time. I want to thank Chromeworks real quick. You guys know that we run their exhausts all last year before and last year. I rented on that special, and I'm running it on the big bore right now. Love the exhaust, love the sound, and I love the people. We've got to know them, and they just mean a lot to me. If you guys see me whenever I was breaking the big bore in this year, I ran out to the East Coast and got in a drag race with it. Kicked everybody's ass that I was with. Did have a little problem, but we got that thing lined back in and had a blast. Ever since then, we're always hanging out at rallies. The Chromeworks crew, hard for me to say, they ride bikes. There ain't no shit about the boys and ladies. They love to ride bikes. That means a lot to me whenever you sit down with a company and they ride and they kind of get the flow of things. They understand what you're talking about. Are you back? Like that, huh? Just like that.
Yeah.
So with their exhaust, I've been loving it so very much. We've loved it on the special too, and they get a sweet sound to it. With this 131 that we're running on the big bore, we're running that 2-in-1, and it's just it takes a little bit of time for that sound to it starts getting a different tone to it. You got to let it age a little bit, but the big bore has a different sound to it. I absolutely love it. So this year they came out with this, what is it? Instigator. They always come up with the coolest names. I know they all sit around because we've sat around and they brainstormed about names.
Yeah.
I never could do one.
So it's the Instigator, the Air Cleaner series.
Yes.
And I believe that there's 2 options out there.
Yes. And those 2 have a name, but I'm not familiar with it yet. I looked at them the other day, and I was interested in running one, and I spoke with them. I said, this is the one I'd like, so this is the one they sent me. So we're going to break it out of the box. I should have been a little bit more prepared.
That's
there
okay.
There are 2, and when we say that, that means that they've machined them different. So the outside has a different, like, machined look to it. So we'll break this out. See what this looks like this year. All right, so like always, they package. Can you say package for me?
Package.
Them up for me. They package really well. But I haven't seen this yet, so I thought
Let's see if I can just go ahead and bring it up so we'll know exactly the 2 options that they have. Because I've done forgot the names of them.
went and forgot it.
Should have been more prepared, but you know.
Fuck it. We just got it. Tons of moving parts. They'll forgive us. The good thing about us, though, guys, if you're watching the Ornery One and what Steph and I do, the parts on our bikes, we just don't bolt the shit on and go take our bike down the road and say, oh, look at our bike and look what we built and here it is and make a post. We actually ride the shit out of our stuff. So our stuff is field tested. Everybody that we run, they're like, holy shit, TJ, when you clean the bike, we don't have time.
Yeah.
We're riding the damn bike.
All right, so this is the new Instigator Air Cleaner series, and there's 2 different styles, Tracer and Classic.
Okay.
And then they also have 2 different colors. You could either do black or chrome.
Okay.
Okay. 1-piece aluminum backplate, hidden breather. They have oil catch can available on M8 models.
Okay.
And it is available for the M8s and the TC-TWR models.
Okay, so the 2 that she was just mentioning, so they'll be machined a little different than this. So the machining, the other one has a couple marks across here and doesn't have all this outline around
Yeah,
it.
this is the Classic, and then they offer the Tracer, which is a lot like their tips too, and like like you said, it has like the 2 marks on each side.
So just like
looks
always, Chromeworks, it's machine parts. In my opinion, Chromeworks is top shelf. On our bike, we don't run nothing but top shelf. Yeah, it's arrogant, but it's the truth. We put a lot of time into developing these relationships with all these companies, and it's for a reason. So that kind of gives you a look of, it's kind of got that really classic look to it, which I've always liked.
Yep.
Only other way you could do is the teardrop thing that we ran the S&S back in those little choppers and stuff. I mean, that's the only other thing that, so it's just got that really good look.
It's
I'm
a
trying
nice,
to give you the
clean,
all
like,
360
finish,
look.
too.
The base of it going
The back
throttle
plate.
body. Of course, there's the backing plate. You guys can see, well machined, heavy piece. So I'll just kind of put it together because you guys kind of know this, but this first look I've taken with it. Struggling with my words a little bit because I'm just thinking about it, feeling it, tasting it. Feels good.
Kind of like your first date.
Just like my first date.
A little nervous, struggling with your words
With
because
your
you're
mama.
tasting it and feeling it.
With your mama. Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea, guys, of the finish on it and how it would, you know, approximately look like on your bike. I'm excited about it. Right now we have T-Man Performance no loss air breather on it. That thing's a great breather as well. And I've highly recommended it too. But I was wanting to run this because Chromeworks, I love their exhaust and they sponsor us. So I want to run their new products and see what it's all about and show it off. And I already know I like it. The crew there, they go into a lot of time and a lot of design. And if you don't know Lincoln Industries, you need to look them up. They do a lot more than you might think. They do a lot of other stuff besides Harley Davidson motorcycle parts. So they've got a lot of knowledge behind them, and they've got a lot of people on their side doing a lot of great things. All nice stainless steel bolts, and I'm not going to break all that down because we're going to install this on the bike here pretty quick because, like I said, we'll be leaving for Daytona in about 2.5 weeks.
Yep. Question. Do you ever worry or run a rain sock on your air cleaner?
Yes. Okay, so the rain is a thing. Great question. Who asked that?
Bammer 3.
Good question,
Sorry, I
man.
have to read your name.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about rain and running in the rain. Steph and I do it a lot, and we always do it because, well, we're riding a fucking motorcycle. We don't put it up when it's raining. So one thing I've noticed is I do run a rain sock. I don't necessarily like them so much, but sometimes we do when we get into the heavy rain. One thing I have noticed on the Road Glide is a lot of times when it's a heavy downpour, something about that fairing, when the water runs off and it hits my knee, it almost runs right into the breather. It depends on how heavy the rain is, how fast I'm running, and some wind and different things. But I have noticed that. I have one T-Man Performance. They sent one. I put it on there. It helps. The main thing, when we're running in the rain and shit like that, I just don't push the bike and I kind of kick it down a little bit, which you're going to do anyway. But there are times, I'll be honest with you, where I've had to pull over. We've honestly had to pull over because it's been so much fucking rain going into it. I mean, it just won't run. I know that sounds crazy, but there's been quite a few times. Even with a sock on there, and I'll be honest with you guys, I need to keep that a little bit more handier, because we get into the rain, I kind of hammer down, we're either trying to outrun it or skirt around it, or we're going to run through it. I might put it on knowing that we're fixing to, but 75% of the time I don't put it on, but I have.
Yeah, whatever we did the last ride in some really downpour. We were going across Kentucky?
Yes.
Coming back from the start of our Highway 50 ride in Ocean City. We were going through there and it rained for
Loneliest road.
Yeah, it rained for 2 days straight and it was a heavy downpouring. I think I could tell.
Well, it was storming. It actually tornadoes and it flooded through there. They had bad flooding the week prior, and then when we rode through, it flooded again. And we ran all those back roads through there. And the road conditions, the road itself, they sucked. If you truly run the loneliest road, truly run it on the map, and we did it. It's very hard to do because it breaks so much. You almost have to stop and find it on the map, and you have to keep taking these off jags, and it takes some time. And the roads alone are fucking hard to navigate without weather. They sucked. Some of the hardest roads we ran beside Michigan or Detroit up in there. I mean, and the rain was absolutely just walls of rain coming across us. And that's when I noticed, it didn't matter what I did. I'd take my leg and kind of kick it up on there, and I'd of course we'd put our rain suit on. I'd try to get my rain suit and hold my arm down and kind of cover that breather. I've tried all kinds of shit. But when it comes right down to it, you're going to suck a little water at times. And I just kind of kick back on the throttle and try not to gouge it too much. But that's my take on the socks.
Yeah.
That's why we've got 5 kids.
I wish I had some air drums. I could be just like...
So...
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see what this breather looks like as soon as we get over there.
It's going to look nice.
I
love that look.
Yeah.
I love the look of it, and it is truly it's nice and clean and sleek.
It'll be different because the T-Man, their breather it's a pretty massive breather, and it's long. And you can see through it. It's fucking awesome. I love the breather and all the performance parts. T-Man's got some top line shit for sure. But it's going to feel a little bit different because I'd held my leg against that one. One thing I can say about it is Steph and I are running in 100-degree weather, which we do a lot. We'll be in 100-degree weather. The housing of that one does get against my leg, and it does put off a little heat on my knee because it's right there against it. But one thing that I've learned where that doesn't bother me so much. One thing that I love when I look down, though, is that gauge that they have. So we actually have a T-Man performance gauge on there. It tells me the pressure, the oil pressure. I fucking love that gauge. But all that stuff right in there can gain a lot of heat. And when you're riding, 10, 11, 12 hours on a bike, anything little can get annoying at some point or another. So this one's going to be a little change. So I'm excited to run that, and really quick, thanks for sending it out to me. Chromeworks. I should have done this a while ago. Changed my hat, right? They have a new exhaust out as well. So it's like 2 into 1. So that exhaust is going to be badass. I forget the name of it, but they're going to have it out running around there. We're going to see some people running it this year. We'll probably see some down in Daytona. We'll be down there at Destination Daytona, which is called something else now.
I just put someone else in timeout on accident. I apologize.
Whoops.
The new Destination Daytona down there is T.W.R.
Okay, so we'll be down there
Daytona.
hanging out with everybody down there. So we'll be hanging out with all of our sponsors, and we'll be seeing all their new stuff coming out. I know Custom Dynamics got some new gadgets that I want to be looking at as well. KST, the boys there's got some new stuff going on I want to be looking at. May not be on our bike, but it'll be on some others. Mustang seats, of course. They've got a lot of cool stuff fixing to happen with them. And I could keep on going. But
yes, but really quickly, I do want to give a shout out to 2 Up on Threes. Thank you so much for your super chat. They said, happy early anniversary, Rocky Point. Thank you so much for that. I went to reply to you and I put you in timeout, and I am so sorry. I didn't mean to put you in timeout. I really appreciate
sorry about that.
that.
Yeah, so what do you guys think about that Rocky Point thing? Like
It
Casey.
would be a lot of fun.
I mean, I'll be honest, I'm going to be looking forward to that all year round. I mean, all year. That's going to be like a grand finale kind of top deals. And to be out of the States, which we finally got to this year, but we're actually going to be riding across through there, which we did get down to the border there in, where was that? Where at in Texas, was it?
We went down to El Paso, Texas.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to think for a second.
So we did border to border, which was 62. Mm-hmm. And it links it up. It goes all the way up to Buffalo, New York. So we rode that right after we rode the America's Loneliest Road. So we just went from one to the other. But we got down there to El Paso. And it was super fucking cool because Steph and I were rolling in. We got right down there on the border, and I looked over and see Mexico. And it's just, if you guys haven't seen it, it's a drastic change from that side of the fence from the U.S. to Mexico side. So I'm just sitting there taking this all in like, holy shit. So I made a couple loops, and we rode right up to the border. And I'd made a couple loops, and I seen this dude, and he was on an old Evo. And I can't remember what it was anyway. The dude just looked fucking cool as shit. He looked like something out of the movies, like Casey and I. Yeah, I'm getting older, but I still have these images. Like, he was like the ultimate, like I looked at him and I was like, fuck yeah, man. Of course, I wouldn't say anything to him. I was scared to death. Yeah, me. But, we're there, and I'm just like, oh, man, I'd like to say something to that dude. But anyway, he goes rolling through. He made a stop, and we made a circle around, and he made a round and went through the border. And when he rode up to it, he just kind of looked over and nodded his head. They nodded at him, and he just kind of rode on through. You can tell he passes back and forth. Probably got, working both. So he may have building a chopper over here and a bagger over here. No telling the story that he has. So I was just envisioning us rolling over there and going down in there. And so we went on down I don't know what street it was, but it was along the fence. So they had Border Patrol sitting all the way down through there. and then they got the fence, and then it goes into the wall that they built, right? Super fucking ridiculous anyway. So we're just checking this out, rolling down through there, and I got so excited. It was like Casey and I were talking earlier, like I start feeling that again, like I'm, 19, 20 years old, wanting to get on a chopper and ride across somewhere I've never been. And that's what we've done, We've just been riding our ass off, and this will be a total change. I know I got off on this
That's okay.
big deal, but I'm excited about it.
That's okay.
I'm
It's
gonna
our
look
channel.
forward
We
to
can ramble.
What do you think, Hank?
It's
So-
super hot in here, and I apologize. And he's already panting like,
It's hot, Mom. It's hot.
yeah.
Got a lot of hot air blowing around. Okay, guys.
does.
So I've enjoyed this. Casey, once again, thanks for coming on tonight, man.
Yes, for sure.
Love you to death. Was you got anything over there in the comments section that you need to read? Comics section.
Yes. Let's see. Hoghead Bill said, saw your video on Mustang seats, and you guys have sold me on the Super Tour because you two ride hard, long, and heavy, just like me and the old lady do. Yeah. Yeah. If you're looking for a touring seat, you guys ride 2 up, you ride long distances, you ride hard, fast, and heavy. That is the seat. I can't keep saying that's.
And now they make some more amazing seats out there, and super sexy seats, and they fit. They've handcrafted them. The guys, the crew there at Mustang, in Three Rivers, Massachusetts, they're just amazing. They're gonna be. They've got. I can't tell you what they're working on right now because they haven't came out with this right now. But I actually have a message from Melissa right now that I got to answer her when we get off this. So they're doing a lot with Mustang, and everybody there, their heart and soul's into this. So these seats are American, baby. And they've worked very hard to get where they are with these seats for a reason. I'm glad you watched that video. There's other seats out there, but I promise you guys they won't compare to that Super Tour Deluxe. If that's what you're looking for, Steph and I know for a fact. And then you team that up with Legend Suspension. Damn.
Yeah.
You've got a touring machine right there. All right.
For sure.
For sure.
Any other questions?
Comments?
Comments?
Are you ready
Yeah.
for Mardi Gras? Show everybody off your hat. I'm just going to set it on your head, okay?
You have to put the strap on him.
All right. Hank with his hat. Ready for Mardi Gras. Right?
Is he cute?
So, guys, if you don't know, Steph and I, we absolutely love getting dressed up. We love just being part of the whole image of anything happening. We just want to be
we
right
like
in the
to
middle
be
of it.
in fun. Yeah, we want to be involved in something fun and with good people and good causes. And yeah, Mardi Gras is one of them, especially in Eureka Springs. It's all about family and family time.
Yep.
And especially when they have like different crews that are for nonprofits or like say the crew of Barkus, it supports the Humane Shelter or the Humane Society, like the doggy shelter that's over there in Eureka Springs. And it's really neat because each year they do crown the king and queen, and they choose from the shelter there, which is, it's really cool. And I hope that the king and queen get adopted this year. But
Yeah, as Steph and I were getting older, guys, and we have 5 kids, so we've got a soft place anyway. Don't get me wrong, we're very fucking ornery, but we have a soft place for the good stuff. And that's what we're surrounding ourselves with, and that's what we've been doing. Like having Casey on here tonight. Last week we had Nick on, Knives by Nick, another great, humble dude. Next week, do you know who we're having on?
next week is actually Valentine's Day.
Oh, wow.
And so I don't think we actually have anyone planned for Valentine's Day, but there are a couple of rides that have a little mystery to them that I think we're going to pick one ride that's going to be coming up, and we're going to talk about that ride and kind of break it down. The following week is going to be Fat Tuesday, and we're not going to do Tuesday night. We're going to do Wednesday night. And our guest that night is Ryan with All Kids Bike.
What?
If you guys are familiar with Strider Bikes is started there in Sturgis, and then their nonprofit is All Kids Bike, and their mission is to teach all kids to ride on 2 wheels by the end of kindergarten. So their nonprofit actually sets up the kindergarten program in the PE courses of public schools as a curriculum, and teaches kids to ride on 2 wheels by the end of that year, of that school year. So it's a really cool thing. If you guys remember last year for Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, we did the Legacy Ride that benefit All Kids Bike. So each school, it costs around $5,000 to get a school set up with a curriculum, the 24 bikes, also the bicycle for the instructor, and training videos and stuff like that. So we did our All Kids Bike Legacy Ride, and it's going to be happening again this year as well. But it did actually turn out to be a great outcome. We funded 3 schools there in Northwest Arkansas.
3 schools.
So something really cool. But yeah, he will be on not next Tuesday, but the following live stream, which will be on Wednesday instead of Tuesday.
That'll be something you want to pay attention to, because this dude, the guy is a endless amount of wealth, knowledge, and then to pick his brain, we actually got to go up to All Kids Bikes and see their facility up there at Sturgis this last year, and it's amazing. And then we walked into his office and seen all the cool shit and pictures, everybody that he's been involved with. We're lucky enough, and we're very humbled. We are ambassadors for All Kids Bikes, and there's a great number of people that are super amazing on that wall, and we're proud to be on that wall with them.
Yes. Then the following live stream is Chopper Gary with Tin Tac Motorcycle Museum.
Yeah.
If you guys are familiar with that museum, or if you're not familiar with it, it's a great time to find out who that is. No, Eureka, Utah. We always get that confused because it's Eureka, Utah, but Eureka Springs, because his sister actually has a store there in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Anyways.
Great. We got some cool fucking people coming on.
I know we do.
And these people are doing fucking cool shit.
We got to get all of our words straight and our words down. So next couple of, we got some really cool, freaking amazing people coming online. We can't be stumbling all of our words.
They're just as bad as we are.
I'm gonna have to get a babysitter for Hanky, so I'm not having to take him out every
and pacify
30 minutes.
Well, as you can see, guys, we're having fun with this. This year we're gonna have a lot of fun. There's gonna be a lot of opportunities that if you guys are able to, you can ride with us. We're gonna be doing a lot of vlogging here in the Ozarks. If you guys don't know, we have some of, if not the best riding in the fucking world. I don't know about the world, but here in the States, we're going to be showcasing our home here in the Ozarks. So we got a lot that Steph's been working on. She's got a ride that she's working on right now. It's called the Ride Between the Two Pigs. So that'll be between Pig Trail Harley Davidson in Rogers and the one in Eureka, which is Eureka Springs Harley Davidson. So that'll be a great opportunity if you're here during the spring fling that you guys can ride with us, and we can show you a little bit of our home.
For sure.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that more. All right. Well, anything else? Because I can just keep
we're
on
all
going.
good.
All right.
Again, I want to say thank you for 2 Up on 3s for your super chat, and then also James Tate. Thank you so much for your super chat earlier too, and all of the Ornery Ass members. I appreciate. I don't know what happened. I think I inhaled air at the same time I was talking.
Oh, you breathed?
Yeah, I did breathe.
Oh, well, good.
Okay, from the top. Thank you, Ornery Ass members, each and every one of you guys. You guys have stuck with us all this time. I appreciate that. You guys are the ones that keep us on the road. Just like Casey Mulligan tonight as an Ornery Ass member, thank you for coming on. I hope you guys enjoyed it, knowing a little bit about what he's looking forward to each year. Rocky Point, I think that's going to be, that's going to happen this year.
Rocky Point's on our horizon. That'll make a great video. See?
We'll get to cross
that
border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
¿Cómo está?
All right, guys. We're going to sign off and take Hanky Doo-Doo outside to go...
Doo-doo.
Doo-doo.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in and chiming in. Until we see you next time, like always, y'all stay ornery. Not bad.